burned in the sun won't know the value of shadow. Who has never been burned in the sun won't know the value of shadow. It means that to be able to feel or to enjoy or to know real happiness, you must know sadness. Otherwise, you won't know true happiness. You won't know good things. You won't know the other extremity, the other extreme. So you must have been burned in the sun to be able to enjoy a good shadow. The dogs bark, but the caravan passes on. The dogs bark, but the caravan passes on. This one means that sometimes some people criticize you, but you should not be disturbed by their criticism. You should just let them complain, let them talk, just move on with your life and do whatever you must do. So the dogs bark, but the caravan passes on. Let me find some more proverbs. Meanwhile, if you have any question, maybe you would like to know how to pronounce a word or the meaning of a word, don't hesitate, just let me know. Let me find a few more proverbs. Out of sight, out of mind means that when someone is far from his friends or family or far from his hometown or other places, those persons or places will be out of his mind. So out of sight, out of mind. Let me just include it on the sheet. Out of sight, out of mind. Another proverb. The biting dog does not show its teeth. The biting dog does not show its teeth. Put it here. The biting dog does not show its teeth means that when you plan to do something, when you plan to do something, you should not reveal your plan. So a dog who intends to bite should be very secretive, very discreet, and not show its teeth. We find another proverb. What you reap is what you sow. This one is very common. What you reap is what you sow. It's very famous. Means that whatever you do, you will face the consequences. So if you do good, you will receive benefits. If you don't, then you will receive if you do bad, then you will receive a bad outcome, bad consequences. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Means that it's hard for somebody to wait and be patient. However, it's worth it. It's very worthwhile. So patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. So you must be very motivated and patient. A rolling stone gathers no moss. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Means that if you always, if you keep on moving on, you don't stay in the same state, or if you don't remain stuck, you will make progress. You should just keep getting busy. You should be very active all of the time. So a rolling stone gathers no moss. Let me find a few more proverbs. There's an Afghan proverb: you can't hold two watermelons in one hand. You can't hold two watermelons in one hand. There's an English proverb, an equivalent English proverb: you should not chase two rabbits at the same time, otherwise you will catch neither of those rabbits. So the Afghan people, they say you can't hold two watermelons in one hand. Where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. It's that if you are motivated enough, you will succeed. So where there is a will, there is a way. We find a few more proverbs. Burn not your house to get rid of the mouse. Burn not your house to get rid it of the mouse. Means that you should not take disproportionate measures. Let's say you have an infestation. You should not burn your house. You should not destroy it just to get rid of the pests of the mouse. We find another proverb. Cobbler's children are worst shod. Cobbler's children are worst shod. Means that when someone works hard, they tend to neglect their children, themselves. So their children tend to suffer, tend not to receive enough attention. So in this case, the cobbler's children are worst shod. No one can serve two masters. No one or nobody can serve two masters. It's that you cannot attempt to do two conflicting, you cannot attempt to take two different courses of action that conflict each other. Otherwise, you will fail at doing so. For example, if you are on a ship, there cannot be two captains. There can only be one captain. Otherwise, the ship won't arrive at its destination. It will become chaos. So one cannot serve two masters. Even kings accept gifts. Even kings accept gifts. I'm not sure what this one means, but I suppose it means something along the lines that everybody should be grateful and accept everything that comes to them. So even kings accept gifts. When the cat is away, the mice will play. When the cat is away, the mice will play. Means that when somebody who is supervising you goes away, you tend to become reckless and do whatever he prevented you from doing. So when the cat is away, the mice will play. You cannot put everyone in the same bag. You cannot put everyone in the same bag. Means that you cannot make broad generalizations. You cannot make stereotypes. You cannot classify everyone in the same. You cannot put everyone in the same class, same category. So you cannot put everyone in the same bag. This better lose your eye rather than your honor. Better lose your eye rather than your honor. This simply means that it's better for you that your honor is more important than everything. It is the most important thing that you have. So you should act honorably. Don't add fuel to the fire. Don't add fuel to the fire means that you should not make the situation worse. You should not aggravate the situation. I paste it here. So don't add fuel to the fire. Advice most needed or the least heeded. Advice most needed or the least heeded means that when you receive a good advice, you tend not to apply it. So in that case, advice most needed or the least heeded. Action speaks louder than voice. Action speaks louder than voice. This one is quite simple. It means that when someone speaks, when someone is talking, just words don't mean anything at all. His actions are what matter. It's his actions that matter. So we should not judge him just by what he's saying. We should instead look at his actions. So actions, there's a small mistake. Actions speak louder than voice. We find another proverb. Never put off till tomorrow what can be done today. Never put off till tomorrow what can be done today. It means that you should not postpone what you need to do today or right now. You should do it right now rather than postpone it. Otherwise, it will never get done, because tomorrow you will say, I'll do it tomorrow, and then the next day you will say, I will do it tomorrow. So there's also another similar proverb, tomorrow never comes. And yet another proverb, there is no time like the present. There is no time like the present. We find a few more proverbs. No man is an island. No man is an island. Means that you cannot isolate yourself. You should seek, you cannot live completely from every other person. You need their help. You cannot act alone. We all need each other. So no man is an island. We find a few more proverbs. Any wise enemy is better than an ignorant friend. Any wise enemy is better than an ignorant friend. Means that your friend, if he is not very wise or knowledgeable, he could inflict severe damage upon you. Your enemy will inflict you less damage. So any wise enemy is better than an ignorant friend. You find a lie has short legs. A lie has short legs. I'm not too sure what it means, so let's just move on. Too many cooks spoiled the broth. Too many cooks spoiled the broth. Taste it. Means that if too many persons are doing the same thing, eventually they will be they will act the result will end up being very disastrous. It will be bad. So you cannot have too many person cook one dish, otherwise they will spoil it. Sell not the bear's skin before you have caught him. Sell not the bear's skin before you have caught him. It's that you should not be too you should not make plans before you're certain that something is going to happen. For example, you should not spend money before you have earned it. You should not take loans without knowing that you will be able to repay the money. So sell not the bear's skin before you have caught him. You find a few more proverbs. The red cow won't change his hide. The red cow won't change his hide means that someone cannot change his personality. There's a similar proverb. I don't remember the exact proverb. It's something like a leopard cannot change its spot. So the red cow won't change his hide. People rarely truly change. We find a few more proverbs. A good name is the best treasure. A good name is the best treasure. Means that your honor, your reputation matters more than your money. It's better for you to treasure and nurture your name and reputation than to be dishonest and get a bad name. So a good name is the best treasure. There's another quite a bit similar, another proverb. Honesty is the best policy. You could say it's could be derived from that. So honesty is the best policy. Fortune disdains the lazy. Fortune disdains the lazy. Means that when you're lazy, you tend to be unlucky. And there's a reverse. The reverse proverb is fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold. Busy people have the most spare time. Busy people have the most spare time. This one seemingly means that if you're lazy, you actually tend to waste your time. I'm not sure. A good listener needs few words. A good listener needs few words. This one means that when you pay attention, when you're a good listener, the speaker does not need to talk a lot. He can be concise. He can just say a few words, and the good listener will understand right away. The debts made to one's mother are never paid. The debts made to one's mother are never paid. It means that no matter what you do, you will never be able to repay your debt, your mother's debt. That is what your mother has done for you. Time is precious. Time is precious. Short proverb simply means that you should not waste your time. It's the most precious thing. So time is precious. Constant dripping wears the stone. Constant dripping wears the stone means that if you work continuously, you will succeed even if the task is enormous, is very complex. You should not be discouraged because your constant efforts will amount to something. You will achieve what you were seeking. So constant dripping wears the stone. A bleating sheep eats no grass. A bleating sheep eats no grass. Believe it means that if you, I'm not sure. Let us move on. The shoemaker goes barefoot. The shoemaker goes barefoot. Means that when you work hard, you tend to neglect yourself. So even a shoemaker does not have time for himself. He neglects his foot and walks barefoot. He's busy working for others. We find another proverb. If you have much, you will need much. If you have much, you will need much. Means that no matter how much you have, you will, especially if you have a lot of money or resources, you will want to have more. You will tend to need more. So if you have much, you will need much. Time discloses all. Time discloses all. Means that with enough time, everything is revealed. You cannot conceal something for all of eternity. So time discloses all. May find something else. If you are not moving forward, you are losing ground. If you are not moving forward, you are losing ground. It means that there is no such thing as being neutral or being at a standstill. If you are not progressing, you are actually regressing. So if you are not moving forward, you are losing ground. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Means that it's better to settle for a partial victory than to be greedy and try to chase enormous amount of success. So a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. But otherwise you will end up performing poorly. If you chase two birds, you will end up not getting any bird. So a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. The tongue ever turns to the aching tooth. Not sure. Avoid evil and it will avoid thee. Avoid evil and it will avoid thee. You could interpret this as follows. If you try to avoid bad persons and not go in bad places, you will not get hurt, you won't land into trouble. So avoid evil and it will avoid thee. Every song has its own type of dance. Every song has its own type of dance. If you know this one, then let me know. Otherwise, it's a bit abstract. Health is above wealth. Health is above wealth. It's a very simple one. Means that your health is more important than your money. So health is above wealth. There's a Swedish proverb. A friend's slap has honest intentions. Your enemy's kisses are meant to deceive. A friend's slap has honest intentions. Your enemy's kisses are meant to deceive. It means that even if your friend appears to be criticizing you, when at the same time your enemy appears to be complimenting you, in that case you should not be fooled by the appearance. The enemy is the enemy's kisses are meant to deceive you, but your friend's criticisms or remarks or your friend's criticisms could actually be more beneficial and come from a good intention, from an honest intention. So don't be fooled by, don't be deceived by what what your, don't be deceived by your initial intent, your initial instincts. Let me find another proverb. He who promises too much means nothing. He who promises too much means nothing. Means that when someone, for example, if a politician makes a lot of promises, he actually is deceiving you because there's no way that he will be able to make good on his promise. So he who promises too much means nothing. It's just an empty promise. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. This one is simple. It means that if you go to bed early and you wake up early, you will be healthy, you will be successful, you will be financially successful, and you'll be smarter. Hawks will not pick out hawk's eyes. Hawks will not pick up hawk's eyes means that criminals will not attack criminals. They will prey on honest people. So hawks will not pick out hawk's eyes. We find some more proverbs. Haste makes waste. Haste makes waste. Means that when you you're in a hurry, you don't tend you tend to make waste. You tend to perform negligently, recklessly, so you don't perform well. So haste makes waste. A man of words and not of deeds is like a garden full of weeds. A man of words and not of deeds is like a garden full of weeds. Means that action is better than just words. You should act rather than talk. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Means that if you live in a certain way, especially if it's dangerous, you will probably suffer and even die in the same way. So if you for example, if you if you like to skydive, you will probably one day, if you do it every day, you will probably end up paying the ultimate price. So let me find another problem. If you want a thing done right, do it yourself. If you want a thing or if you want something done right, do it yourself. Means that If you delegate a task to someone else, that person will probably not do it with the same amount of attention and carefulness than you would have done. So if you want something done right, do it yourself. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. Means that you can't force someone. You could give him the best advice, but you can't force him to take those advice. So you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. Heaven helps those who help themselves. Heaven helps those who help themselves. Means that when you take action, when you take risks and become active, you will probably be lucky and receive some unexpected help. So heaven helps those who help themselves. To kill two birds with one stone. This expression means to accomplish two different tasks simultaneously. To kill two birds with one stone. Still waters run deep. Still waters run deep. Means that when someone is very silent and is just observing or thinking, that person might actually be making a lot of plans and might actually be dangerous or could be planning something bad. So still waters run deep. We find some more proverbs. Maybe some Chinese proverbs. A small fire is soon quenched. A small fire is soon quenched. It's the equivalent of the Chinese proverb. A small fire is soon quenched means it probably means you should act early when the problem is very small, otherwise it will be harder. Experience is the best teacher. Experience is the best teacher. Means that you can try to learn everything in a book. What you will have learned won't be better than your practical experience. Theory is not as good as practice, so experience is the best teacher. The Chinese proverb means something roughly along the lines reading 10,000 books is less than journeying 10,000 miles. So it, it can be expressed concisely as experience is better, or experience is the best teacher. We find a few more proverbs. When one door closes, another opens. When one door closes, another opens. Means that even if an opportunity is gone, there will be other opportunities. So when one door closes, another opens. We find a few more proverbs. In wine there is truth. In wine there is truth. I believe this proverb might be the equivalent of a Latin one. In vino veritas. In wine there is truth. Means that when someone is drunk, he tends to speak truthfully. He tends to reveal himself. So in wine there is truth. Every wine has its wherefore. Every wine has its wherefore. Means that everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Bitter pills may have blessed effects. Bitter pills may have blessed effects. Means that even if your medicine does not taste very good, its effects might be worth it. So bitter pills may have blessed effects. You find a few more proverbs. There's a Chinese proverb. Teachers open the door, you enter by yourself. Teachers open the door, you enter by yourself. So no matter how much your teacher helps you, you must make a personal effort. He cannot do that for you. You have to do it yourself. Give a man a fish and you will feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. In fact, better for you to give someone some skills, to teach him some something rather than just give him some items. Otherwise, he will just use it and then he won't be able to produce anything. So teach him some skills so that he becomes independent and is able to become self-sufficient. Rats. Let me find the one. Water keeps the boat afloat, but can also sink it. Water keeps the boat afloat, but can also sink it. It's something that everything has two facets. Everything can become advantageous or disadvantageous. So water can keep your boat afloat, but it can also sink it. So nothing is inherently good or bad. Look before you leap. Look before you leap means that if you take a big step, you should be very careful and plan ahead. Example is better than precept. Example is better than precept. Means that you should lead by example rather than just giving piece of advice. Example is better than precept. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Simply means you reap what you sow. You get out what you put in. Money is what makes the world go round. Money is what makes the world go round. Means that money can buy you almost anything. We find some more proverbs. The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Means that if you are quick, if you act fast, you will get an advantage over the others. So the early bird gets the worm. We find some more proverbs. God closes one door, but opens 100. God closes one door, but opens 100. Means that even if one opportunity is gone, there are a lot more still available. Prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. Means that it's better for you to take preventive steps rather than remedial action. Cats hide their clothes. Cats hide their clothes. Means that your enemies or those who want to hurt you, they will disguise their weapons. So cats hide their clothes. Children, fools, and drunken men tell the truth. Children, fools, and drunken men tell the truth. This one is simple. No need for explanation. Ingratitude is the world's reward. Ingratitude is the world's reward. Means that most people, they will not be grateful. So ingratitude is the world's reward. There's also a similar proverb. No good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished. Means pretty much similar, has a pretty much similar meaning. We find some more proverbs. Easy come, easy go. Easy come, easy go. Means that the things that you acquire easily are easily gone. You spend them, you get rid of them very quickly. Just as one calls into the forest, so it echoes back. Just as one calls into the forest, so it echoes back. Means that if you are, if you do good, you will get good consequences, and alternatively, if you do bad things, you will reap bad things. We find another proverb. While we were talking about the wolf, he came to our doorstep. While we were talking about the wolf, he came to our doorstep. Suppose it means that when you talk about someone, he tends to, when you talk about the devil, he appears. So, while we were talking about the wolf, he came to our doorstep. Misfortune comes on horseback and goes away on foot. Misfortune comes on horseback and goes away on foot. Means that when you're unlucky, It tends to take a lot of time for your luck to change, for your circumstances to improve. So misfortune comes on horseback and goes away on foot. When it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. Means when bad things happen, they tend to happen, they, they tend to be very severe. So when you're unlucky, many things accumulate, many bad things accumulate. Walk the walk, then talk the talk. Walk the walk, then talk the talk. Means that take an action and only then should you speak about it. So accomplish your job first and then talk about it. United we stand, divided we fall. United we stand, divided we fall. Means that there is strength in union. In You are more powerful if you cooperate with others, if you join forces. So united we stand, divided we fall. Better now than later. Better now than later means it's better to do something right now rather than postpone it for some other time. In fact, it means that